Hello and welcome back to another week in new genre books. Thanks for stopping by. We're always glad to have you here. My name is Amelia, and from Locus magazine, I'm about to tell you the top new science fiction, fantasy, and horror books being published the week of January 31st, 2023. This month, we have our annual recommended reading list coming out on our site at locusmag.com, plus the Voting for the Locus Awards, which is open to the reading public. That includes you, dear reader. Go vote at locusmag.com. These authors work hard and appreciate the support. Please like and subscribe to the Locus channel. That is a big part of keeping this booktube going, and all you have to do is click the subscribe button. I've got links for timing if you want to skip to your favorite category, be it science fiction, fantasy, or horror. This booktube channel focuses specifically on what we call genre fiction, you know, the good stuff. Starting with science fiction books this week, we have 5 science fiction titles being published. First, from Annalee Newitz, we have The Terraformers out from Tor in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a far future science fiction novel, a post-human, multi-generational epic about terraforming a planet over 5,000 years, focusing on the ever-changing genetically altered workers. From Gary K. Wolfe's review in the January issue of Locus, what might surprise readers expecting an abstract historical epic in the Foundation tradition, with which it shares a structure of novellas knitted together, is that the first of Newitz's tales features a rather endearing moose romance. I'm going to repeat that, moose romance, and that the last involves a cat and a train who fall in love. In other words, there's a refreshingly playful sensibility at work here, while at the same time Newitz offers a deeply serious critique of capitalism as a mechanism for environmental management. Next, from Jack McDevitt, we have Village in the Sky, out from Saga Press in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a science fiction mystery novel, 9th in the Alex Benedict series. Humanity discovers new, intelligent life light years away, only for it to disappear without a trace. From Daniel Suarez, we have Critical Mass, out from Dutton in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a near-future science fiction techno-thriller sequel to Delta V. An unsanctioned commercial asteroid mining project goes wrong, leaving 2 crew members stranded, and with Earth governments unwilling to mount a rescue, the crew has to build their own next-gen rescue ship. And I just want to go over the premise, the unsanctioned commercial asteroid mining project that goes wrong, because it's just a lovely mix of bad ideas. Like, let's say asteroid mining is safe, commercial asteroid mining is responsible, and some projects are actually sanctioned and supported by Earth governments. It's just this one little project that didn't get the administrative go-ahead for some reason. In space, no one can hear you cut the red tape. I'm pretty sure that's how the saying goes. Anyway, from Darusha Wehm, we have Hamlet, Prince of Robots, out from Potentia Press in hardcover and ebook. This science fiction novel is a retelling of Hamlet as a battle between robotics companies. In it, Elsinore Robotics has trouble when their first AI android, Hamlet V1, is permanently deactivated, apparently by wild malware, and Hamlet V2 swears to avenge his progenitor, but uploading V1's backup is causing problems with his own neural network. I'm sorry, Hamlet, I'm afraid I can't do that. No, wait, that was I'm sorry, Dave. That's what HAL 9000 said in that Kubrick movie. From Quincy Thomas, we have Race in the Machine, out from Redwoods Press in hardcover and ebook. This is a science fiction novel. An intelligent machine built to study methods of social warfare struggles to understand and communicate the lived experience of race. Next up, horror, we have 2 titles in horror this week. First, from CJ Tudor, we have The Drift, out from Ballantine in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This could be in science fiction, but we're calling it horror. It's just, when we have all the power to tell you which category a book belongs in, we have to use it, and we try to use our powers for good. Anyway, this is an apocalyptic near-future survival thriller about the retreat, a mountainside haven from the plague for the select few, where a something with the power to consume all of humanity lurks in the shadows, which reminds me of that old line, who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows. And also, lurking is kind of passive. We want our evil to step it up. Do something, don't just lurk there, Mr. Powerful Shadow. Next, from Trang, Tran, we have She is a Haunting, out from Bloomsbury, USA in hardcover and ebook. This is a young adult ghost story novel. Jade, a Vietnamese-American girl, goes to Vietnam to get to know her long-absent father and discovers the family home he's remodeling into a hotel is haunted, which just makes me wonder, do the ghosts like company? Because some families like having company. The hotel project could work out. Next up, we have 5 fantasy titles to tell you about this week. From Mike Chen, we have Vampire Weekend out from Mira in trade paperback, hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is an urban fantasy novel. Lonely punk vampire Louise Chow, living on blood bags and night jobs, takes in a distant relative, a 13-year-old human teen with a dying mother, and revitalizes her love of music in 1980s San Francisco. There's no San Francisco like the San Francisco of the past. From Megan Paasch, we have Dream to Me out from imprint in hardcover and ebook. This is a young adult fantasy novel. After her father's death, Ava discovers she has supernatural powers she must learn to control as people she dreams about fall into comas. From Camila Victoire, we have Blood Circus out from Blackstone Publishing in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a young adult near-future fantasy novel set on a climate-ravaged Earth where humanoids called clunes are hunted and killed for food and fertilizer, and in return, they force captured humans into deadly competitions. From Piers Anthony, we have Apocalipse out from Open Road in trade paperback, hardcover, and ebook. This is a fantasy novel, 47th in the Xanth series. 47. As Prince Nolan goes on a quest to find his ideal bride, a pun-demic spreads through Xanth. From Gary Robinson, we have Billy Buckhorn and the Book of Spells, out from 7th Generation in trade paperback and ebook. This is a young adult fantasy novel, the first in the Thunder Child Prophecy series, about a Native American teen chosen by the Thunders, who gets struck by lightning and develops powers, which he uses to fight mythical evil forces threatening the Cherokee Nation. And in our occasional recurring segment, which we call In Case You Missed It, we want to tell you about a recent title out from brilliant author Tim Powers. The book is called After Many a Summer, out from Subterranean in hardcover. It's got bedazzlement, thrills, great characters, and the unpredictability of real life, as well as a metaphysical engine for the action. We open on our protagonist, a fellow named Conrad, as he sits in a parking lot, awaiting the fulfillment of some mysterious assignment. Conrad, an ex-screenwriter, has been a homeless alcoholic for some time now, but feels that this occasion, doing a favor for Sotkin, the powerful head of the Doheny Studios, might be his leg up on regaining respectability. All Conrad has to do is take a car and its enigmatic cargo and drive it to a rendezvous with Sotkin. Easy peasy. But of course, Conrad makes the mistake of looking at the prize he is to deliver and discovers it to be an oracular, quasi-living automaton of sorts. And when the talking head gets inside Conrad's head, all bets are off. Tim Powers is the author of The Anubis Gates and a bunch of other good stuff, and he's a really lovely guy as well. That wraps up this week. Thanks for spending some time with us at Locus. We want to tell you everything relevant that's happening in the science fiction, fantasy, horror publishing space. We appreciate your eyes and ears and your likes and subscribes. Please do subscribe and turn notifications on so that you know about this video when it goes up every week. This magazine and YouTube channel are a labor of love. We are at Locus Mag or at Locus Magazine on most platforms. You can read more about the science fiction, fantasy, and horror field over at www.locusmag.com or support us on our Patreon. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. Come back and see us again soon, and we'll be here next week with more new books.